Video Games Session here, and welcome back. So just before we get into Game 7 against the Houston Texans, we have some big news, big news, I guess you could say. So we're going to recap some things happening. Lorenzo Hayden and Latavian McCreef are two guys we brought in to help out. They haven't really played much. Not a big shocker. Next, you're looking at Danny Shelton. We traded him, remember, and a fourth for that first pick that's probably going to be the first overall right now. And then we traded Bradley McDougal and Spencer Drago for their first pick, and we traded our sixth pick for that. So we got, I think, the third as well. Next, we released Steve McLendon. He wasn't doing too much. Then we traded Emmanuel Lemur, Stephen Paella, and Kamar Aiken. Now, Kamar Aiken, the only reason I really traded him is because he's really buried like 4th or 5th on the depth chart. And he's not a terrible player. Like, he's had some good moments, but he just hasn't done too much for me to really do it. So I traded him away, and I got their first round pick. But they're doing really well this year for the 30th. So I really wasn't excited about that. Then we signed Christian Ringo, Hassan Ridgway, Mike Pennell's back in the league, or back on our team. Then we traded Calhoun, that first pick, and one of our 5th picks for the Saints' first pick. And if you could see, that would give us the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd overall pick in the draft. Now, this game kind of went realistic to total cheap shit, but at the same time, you're not really building for a realistic team. You're building for a superstar caliber team that can get you to the Super Bowl. And I still want to do that, at least get to the playoffs and try to get to the Super Bowl championship game, stuff kind of like that, before Madden 18 comes out in a few, 3-4 months. So I think I should be able to do that, but that's the big news. The next kind of concept I'm looking at is in the off season, which I really need to stop worrying about right now because it's only week 7. There's a few things that I need to really look out for. And the biggest couple things are Joe Patino. We need to try to sign him. And I think for AQ Shipley, I think I'm just going to keep BJ Finney, because they're the same player, basically, just Finney's younger. The next situation is obviously quarterback. Then we got to work on the running back situation. Tight end, I have a few things about tight end. And then the defense is the biggest issue kind of thing here, because we're playing decent with him, but Christian Kirksey's contract is going to be a big thing. There's some linebackers that I kind of want to look after in this game, or look for in the offseason. I've been writing them down. The safeties position I'm not really worried about. I might need to find a backup for Micah Hyde in the future. Corners, obviously, I might need to pick up 1 or 2 decent ones because I don't have an 80 overall corner. And then the defensive line, only one player, 80 overall. And I need to get some players that I can actually play and be more superstar caliber. So that's it, and let's get into it. Welcome to game number 7. We're both 3-3 as the Cleveland Browns take on the Houston Texans. It's the battle of number 17 at quarterback, Case Keenum versus Brock Osweiler. As you can see, we're basically almost identical. We have a little bit more rushing yards. They have more passing yards. And the first downs, they beat us by quite a bit, actually, for that one. Now, the turnover differential is another sight for sore eyes for our offense. Our defense is a great team. You know, we're playing a lot better than and the Browns do in real life, really. And for the, as you can see, Nick Jacobs pumping up that offensive line. And as for offense, though, we turned the ball over with fumbles. Carlos Williams has had 3 or 4 fumbles this season. Case Keenum's throwing so many interceptions. Mike Glennon's throwing interceptions. And it's some issues. Now, in this game, it kind of ends abruptly, and I'll tell you why later. As we see, Emmanuel Ogbah will be back next week. As Michael Hyde's still out for 2 weeks, he'll be back in week 9. Now, Akeem Hunt, Alfred Blue, and Derek Newton are gone for the Texans as we get this game started with Brock Osweiler getting out here. And he's having a nice season with almost 2,000 yards passing, but only 11 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, which is quite high going into about Game 7, but it's not too bad as Jordan Warner will stop Lamar Miller in the backfield for no gain. As we look at this offense of the Texans, now DeJuan Brown's been like the main guy there. It looks like they brought in Jordan Mills from a former Bear and Bill, I believe. And you got to watch out basically for the receiving set. Now, Fedorowicz is a good player, but he's become more of a tight end with blocking as Jamal Taylor shutting down. Now 3rd and 9. Back to pass Osweiler all day. Now pressure throws, or if pressure comes, finds Fedorowicz, and he's a yard short. Now going into this actually is this fact. Looking at the draft, the first game happened, as this game will be up by probably tonight actually, if I can get this way. The Bears selected Mitch Trubisky. Now, I think it was the stupidest thing he could have done, because they traded up so much for him. Like, they gave up their 3rd and 4th this year and a 3rd next year just to move up one spot. And since the 49ers drafted like 2 or 3 cornerbacks in the offseason, I didn't think they would draft them. So you could have stayed there and not given up so much. I think they were stupid about going up and trading so much, and it was the biggest mistake of their season. Now, they still expect Keenum or Glennon to start, which I don't care for really, ever, as we're just getting nothing going here in the rushing game. But it's just, I don't know. I really want to start a podcast talking about stuff that makes no sense to me, but I've tried podcasts in the past and no one's really worked on them. As Kogan will catch this, but they will give him short of the first down, and we will have to punt this away. Ryan Quigley, who's kind of struggled lately, he hasn't been really that great, as he's back to pass. No blocking, and it's blocked, and recovered somehow magically by the Browns' Brandon Ross, who gave up the blocked field or punts, and they're at the 4. That's how bad this is. Next play. Toss. Oh, they got him, and that's a touchdown. Jamie Collins has become, he just kind of went downhill since the first 3 games. Maybe he needs Emmanuel Ogbah on that other side to play well, because he's just been playing bad. As Williams ain't doing much, as we'll look at this defensive front coming in on a 3rd and 9. Jadeveon Clowney and J.J. Watt being beast modes on the end spot. They were without Brian Cushing this year as they got rid of him, but Whitley Merciless is still one of the best outside pass rushers in the game on that right side. As now a 3rd and 9, pressure immediately throws and is swatted down by the middleman Roberto Gathers, I believe, and we're punting it again. And you can just see the expressions in the face. Lamar Miller shut down there. So with the first quarter still going here, we're down 7-0. Osweiler back to pass on 3rd and 8. Looks, and it's intercepted. Jamal Taylor taking it back, untouched, pick 6. Goodbye. Great job there. He's now the starting corner for the second, probably. No, not the second. I'm not talking about the second year, because we brought in Vontae Davis this season by the trade for Joe Hayden. So he became the first stringer. Then he started producing kind of awkward. Like, he wasn't doing as well as I liked. And Cody Riggs and P.J. Williams and all the other guys behind him, as Jamin Smiley gets the first sack there. We're doing a lot better now. So we traded him, Tyron Smith, and a few something else, I think, for Taylor Lewan, who's done actually better than Tyron Smith did last year or other season. So, I'm liking the way that's progressing. Now back with a great catch there, and another one to Hawkins again. This one closing in on a first down at midfield. Now 2nd and inches. Play action pass looks. 1-on-1 again for Hawkins. This time it is broken up by Cody Riggs. And that's the man I was talking about. He's playing a great job for being a second string. And I think he's a low second string too. Like, he's a low 70, I believe, in this game. We have probably one of the weakest secondaries if you look by overall ratings. But if you look by games and how they play, they have midway points. Like, they're pretty good at certain things. Like, P.J. Williams and Cody Riggs are playing well. Jamal Taylor's playing decent. Eugene's okay. And then we haven't really used the other 2, as this is obvious by John Simon. Just terrible coverage skills as he gets called and flagged for the pass interference. He didn't even give my guy a chance there. and yanked down. As now later on the drive, 2nd and 7, back to pass, pressure in my face, throws. Jalen Marshall finally getting some time with the trade of Kamar Aiken. And Philly Dorsett would get injured earlier in this game, so he would get more of the snaps as well. As Carlos Williams is finally getting some runs bigger than 3 yards, as this one's for 8 and to the 41. Next play, back to pass on 3rd and 2 again. There's Nick Jacobs. And while into this, I did some looking and researching through the teams, all 32 teams, looking at who's getting all the resignings and all the people that could go into the offseason. More people that would be more fit for my team. As a great throw here and a touchdown to Corey Coleman. I mean, I don't even know where the defense was. And a great throw off the foot of Case Keenum right there to find Corey Coleman in the end zone, 14-7. Now, I will have an updated thing during bye week, which is after, I think it's week 9, after we play the Vikings next week here. As nice play there. Now 2nd and 2, as back to pass, play action, throws quick, and what a grab, one-handed. DeAndre Hopkins is a beast as we in the first quarter, and now in our field. Now 3rd and 8 from our 45. We need a defensive stand to keep this momentum going. Back to pass. They're going to find Hopkins again. This time, Jamal Taylor couldn't keep up with him. I believe 4 or 5 of those actually, almost all his completions, as Lamar Miller cannot escape all of them. Gets away from one man, but Rich will bring him down to the backfield. And nice job there. But most of his completions are to DeAndre Hopkins. Now 3rd and 11. Looking all day. Throws and a great adjustment by Jalen Strong, who I think they underestimate. He can have a big career if he really steps up in a few seasons, as Lamar Miller is just going to break away from Wilkerson and finally brought down. But Spiley's actually playing well this season for Emmanuel, but now he's not going to be the starter, as you see the right tackle, Jordan Mills, going in a false start. But he's actually playing well, and depending on how Jamin Collins plays, he might get released. Or not released, but not released. Not released. Replaced there at the right spot. We'll see how they do once they get paired back together. As Lamar Miller just takes this one untouched. 13 yards and his 30th career touching down, guys. Or not, that might have been his 29th, I'm sorry. 29th to 30th right there, as Carlos Williams will get a nice run there. But he does break 30 career touching, Jesus Christ. 30 career rushing touchdowns, as we're getting a new start, handoff, and there's just nowhere to run against this defense. They have a good rush defense, and I think they said in real life they're actually the best defense, which is really, quite a big, bold statement. Now, I'm not giving them any. I'm not saying they're not they're awful. I'm just saying I don't think they're the best ever, or not ever, just best in the league. You got the Broncos defense is nice. You got let's see who else is good there. I would say Bears once at a time, but they haven't been good since like 2010. You have a few other teams, as we can tell. As I'm trying to get back more into this game, as Carlos Williams gets a big run there. He's got 47. Again, he's closing. We're not doing well rushing or running the ball this season. It's another year where it's just been bad. The rushing attack is, I don't know what's with it. We have the offensive line to do it. We have some playmakers to get the ball through. It's just no one's really been able to create daylight, been able to get away from players, been able to do anything. Maybe it's the playbook. We run the same 4 or 5 run plays for whatever reason. But we'll see. And as we take the lead with a set field goal, Lamar Miller now gets some room and almost breaks away. But thankfully, Jordan Warner's tackle probably saved a big run, if not a touchdown. As now they got a new play, bunch of formation to the left, back to pass. Throws immediately. He's got Jalen Strong. And Jalen Strong is out racing. Down to the 30. To the 20. One man to beat. And he does it. Touchdown. Big return. Or big one. 64 yards. And just got away from both P.J. Williams and Stekion Rich, I believe is his name. Now we'll flip it to the left, and here goes Carlos Williams again, brought down by 3 defenders, but a gain of 8 once more. Now 3rd down, back to, in the shotgun, back to pass by himself. Looks, throws, it's caught by Coleman, makes a man miss it, and then hit down at the 48. I think that was Jonathan Joseph, or, yeah, John, I don't know, something Joseph on that defense. Now it's 2nd and 10. Under 2 to go. Back to pass, looks, guess who? Nick Jacobs. Going, brought down, and he is at the 41. But like I said, next week 9, I will be showing a look at who I want to bring in and look at in the offseason as we throw deep, and it is broken up. Jalen Marshall could not hang on to it, looking for a flag for whatever reason, as it's incomplete. Now a 3rd and 10, looking, he got some blockers, and he got the speed, and there goes Kerwin Williams. Slowed down by Kendall Wright, but it's still a big first down to the 21-yard line. Nice play there. Down 4 once more. Back to pass. Looking. Throws. It's Marshall. He'll hang on to this one and get 8.5, 9 yards to the 12. Now 3rd down. Back to pass. The first the first half's winding. Caught by Jacobs. But for whatever reason, the Browns just did not call a timeout. Weren't aware of it, and this would be a half. 21-17. Back to pass now. Throws deep, and it is incomplete. It's intercepted by A.J. Boye as he's down at the 33. Now, this will be the last season here, but in real life, he's going to Jacksonville. Now, later on, they'll have another drive. 2nd and 10. Ball at the 33. Back to pass. Blitz, but it's picked up. Finds C.J. Fedorowicz, close to a first down. And there's Kirchke. And down to the 24. 3rd and 1. Back. They gave it to Miller, and Miller's got some room, but he can't make that one miss of Cody Riggs, and he's brought down at the 19. Still a first down. Next play, single back, shotgun, or single back. Now back, and look at the just dropped by Jalen Strong as there's a flag. It would be a hold on this offense. And I believe it was DeJuan Brown DeJuan Brown and, Jiminy Christmas. Oh, I'm sorry, no. This is apparently a roughing the passer call. I had to turn that down, and I'm going to have to turn that down more because it's just happening too much. Like, it should not happen 4 or 5 times in a game. As Christian Kirk, gets the sack. And news with him, after this game, I was able to re-sign him to a new contract as Jamon Smiley gets his second, a 5-year contract. A little bit more than, I think he wanted like 33. I gave him like a 34.1 contract. So I did give him exactly what he wanted and a little bit more as they will tack on a field goal to make it a 7-point game. But I believe the way he's playing and the way he can be, as he's only like 3 or 4 years in the game, in his career, he could be a playmaker. Now, if he can get his coverage up, which I believe he can really in a few years, in a year or so, he can be dominant as we'll just run into this defense and get close to a first down there. But I gave him that big contract. Now, Joel Bonatino is still holding out on not taking that effort as Carlos Williams a nice run here to the 36. I'm trying to give him almost exactly as he wants, but he's still not having the salary. And at this point, I just don't think I need to go after him as Case Keenum will not get away from Bryant McKinnon right there, as he would be brought down, not fooled on the play. Now 3rd and 16. Pressure again, throws deep, 1-on-1, and it is caught and then dropped by Corey Coleman. Could have had his second touchdown. It just goes off his hands. A bad play there, and they get the ball after we have to punt it once more. Now back to pass, a flag again, and he's sacked. Kushan Jarrett, who's really, we brought him back, not expecting much from him to be mostly a backup, and he's kind of shown up in the absence of this, as Jordan Mills will be called for a flag there. As now with 4:20 to go, hashtag fuck no, I can't say that. They'll have to go back, and it doesn't matter. Jalen Strong will get all those yards and then some to the 40 and a new set of downs. Now next play, 3rd and 7 on the drive. 3:03 to go in the 3rd. Back to pass all day, but there's no one open. Looks, and he's going down. Maxi Ali, his sack again. He gets another sack on his season, and he's just doing so well when he got that starting role. Now, he works well more with others. As Kenny said, we'll let this go. Then it just bounces straight in. He'll then decide to pick it up, make a man miss, and then get hit and fumble the ball. And then they will recover it. And another turnover by our team. And that's the problem with the turnover and the differential. It's just been awful. And that would basically just do terrible things. Now back, Miller popping through, just can't get away from this defense. Muhammad Wilkerson, Bjorn Warner will get the tackle. Now later on, a 3rd and 10 from the 14. Back to pass, looking. Can't find anyone open. Pressure by Bruce, but he gets the ball off to Fuller and brought down by Eugene and Cody Riggs on that side. And they would have to take a field goal. Up 10 now. Back to pass immediately. Swatted down to the 33. That's how our offense has been in the past few drives. Now in the 4th quarter, play action pass once again. They've been doing so many of this. Another penalty. Now to Fuller. He'll catch this to the 47-48 as this will be coming back once more with a hold on the on Dwayne Brown again on the Texans there. Now back to pass. 1st and 20. Back throws and he'll get 9 back with DeAndre Hopkins and then Cody Riggs there. I mean, I can't really blame Cody Riggs. He's keeping it involved. He's keeping Hopkins away from getting like big chunks of yards. As now 2nd and 11. Going back deep. Throws 1-on-1 Hopkins again and it's broken up. This time P.J. Williams, my man, playing outstanding this season. Now 3rd and 11, back to pass. Looking, no one open, throws it away, and it is incomplete. The pressure is still enough to get there. Great coverage by this defense, and he's got 10 incompletions. Now a punt here, and we'll get this ball back. You only see punts for a few reasons. You saw one already blocked today, but this one's not. It's going to go to Philip Dorsett. He'll hold on to this one. Get some moves, get some block, and take that elusiveness outside to the 40. Try to cut back and make a move, but can't get away from one defender as he's down at the 31. But one of our better punt returns this season as we don't get too many of them. As now we get another chance. Now back to pass, immediately pressure throws, and it's intercepted. A bad throw. Johnson picks it off. There's a flag. And it is holding Joel Bonatino, or Bonatano, whatever the hell his name is. Not a really good case for him getting a new contract, but who knows? We'll all talk about that in week 9. Now back to pass. They'll get a new chance. They'll find Davis for close to a 1st down, I believe. Sorry about that. Sounds still bad here. Now later on, a 3rd and 2 in the shotgun. They've been doing a bunch of play actions. This time they just give it to Mara Miller, and he's got a 1st down as he uplifted by Rich, but it's not going to matter. 1st down and 10. With a new set of downs. Now later on, 2nd and 6 with 11:15 to go. Handoff Miller again. He's got a big opening. And again, can't make that our guys miss. That happened last week with the Dolphins. Couldn't do much. And again this week, I mean, we're just stopping them. Now back to pass. Jamie Collins, who hasn't really been getting his name called at all in the last few games, has gotten that done. Now later on, almost encroachment call as it's 3rd and 5. Back to pass. Looks, and for all the people there, he just throws it to a guy double covered out of bounds. We'll get the ball back, still down 10 with 9:11 to go. 1st down and 10. Back to pass, throws quick. Chris Hogan caught. Brand breaks the tackle out of bounds at the 25. And this is Mike Glennon, I believe. I'm sorry. Who would get the start after the turnovers. Now back to pass, 1st down and 10. They'll give it to Corey Coleman, so he's 2 for 2 with 26 yards. So he's doing a nice job here. As later on, down at the 38, back to pass, play action pass, immediately pressured, throws it deep into triple coverage, and it's still caught. Kendall Wright, who had a big game last week, is really just getting his first few catches today. Later on, 2nd and 10, back to pass, Glennon looks, caught by Wright, but out of bounds, just short of the 1st down by a few yards. Now it's a 3rd and 4. Back to pass, blitz coming up, picked up, looks, caught, Coleman. Got him to the 24, gain of 10. 5 for 6, 64 yards. Doing well today. Now 1st down. Play action again. Looking, throws, and it is intercepted by Johnson again. A terrible throw. And the accuracy from these two quarterbacks has been atrocious half the time as they will get the ball back with 5:30 to go. Back, hands off. Lamar Miller getting a yard or 2. Nothing really going for him. 3rd down now. 3rd and 9, trying to get back on offense here. Play action pass. Once again, they've done that so many times. Got a man, and it's broken up. Could have been intercepted by Brandon Marshall. I was actually wishing it really would have been because he was so close, but he couldn't. We'll get the ball back, though. Back in opponent territory. Back to pass. Throws quick. Caught by Kendall Wright, just short of being intercepted there. Now later on, 3rd and 6 from the 30. Scrolling out. He's got some man. He's got a time, and then he just throws that. As a man, he's had Corey Coleman coming back off that little corner route, as we'll have to set up for a field goal. And this is one thing I didn't really want to do. I'd rather have a touchdown than a field goal, so later on we wouldn't need to go into the end zone. But we'll have one more. If we can get one more defensive stop, we have another chance to tie this game. We have a chance to tie this game. I'm sorry. Back to pass. They go Hopkins quick. He's got a few yards, but there's a flag. And guess what it is? Roughing the passer. And I'm going to show you another highlight of why the roughing the passer call in Madden is the stupidest shit ever. Here's Jordan Runner, who got the call again today. Gets away, boom. He didn't even fully go down on the play. He just literally hit his leg, and the guy tumbled down. It's the most bullshit here. Now back. Swatted. No, it's caught. What a catch by Will Fuller. That should have been hit away by Koshan Jarrett. Great coverage. It's just caught. Now, down to the 8, we need a stop. We cannot give up any points. They get Jalen Strong down to the 5, and that's 2 minutes to go. Now, second ago, we need a turnover in the shotgun back to pass. Looking all day. Pressure finally gets there. He finds Strong again. He's shut down at the 1. 3rd and goal. We need one more, or we still need a turnover, really. A field goal's not going to do too much. But Ringo will stop in the backfield, and they'll get a chance for a field goal and make it 30-20 with about a minute something to go. And it's just not happening here right now. We're going down 150. We're down 10 without 151 left to go. We have a better chance to get there. Back to pass. Looks deep. Hogan's got it. Down to the 48. Now midfield. 2nd and 10. 1:30 to go. Throws deep. Looking, overthrown, and great reaction. It's picked off by Merriweather, and that would be end of it. I would send the rest of it. I got pissed off, and I have to do some editing because that's some bullshit. Thanks for watching, and see ya.